Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts SUNRAKU from Shangri-La Frontier. It's not a show, or I guess is it a show? It's a web thing, isn't it? Like it's not full on anime, I don't think. I could be wrong. Either way, it's not something I'm familiar with, but Big Bad Toy Store asked if I wanted a sample. So I said, sure, I'll review it for you guys, and I'm going to review it for you guys. So there's a link in the description below if you want to get one. If not, that's fine, no skin off my back. I'll tell you if it's a good figure though. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Before we get into the review of the figure, I do want to show you my package. I think it's a really nice package. I like that they didn't just make it a light color package because or the background because he's light. Oftentimes they make the figure in the background the same. He stands out really nicely in the package. It's really good, and I love the photo here on the front. It's one of the better, more simple packages from SH Figuarts, so I'm pleased with that. Some nice photos on the back, nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's a decent, fairly standard SH Figuarts package. Alright, this guy stands just about, we'll go to the top of his head like right here, not counting the little floofy things, about 6 inches. And that's going to make him pretty close to 15 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin. Probably fudgeable. I'd say that's probably okay. And I like it. Alright, so let's do a quick question of the day. Are you guys familiar with this IP? If so, is it good? And if not, are you interested in the figure anyway because it's an interesting design? So it's my understanding that he's just a teenage guy who's wearing a mask. And so he's probably a little bit hippie. He's a teenage male, and he's got quite birthing hips, I would say, on the figure. I know he's wearing baggy pants, but at the waist even, it's a little bit thick. Now, he's not drawn super V-shaped at all, but still it looks maybe a little thick in this region, but I think once you pose it, it'll probably go away. But let's go ahead and dive into the rest of the aesthetic. The mask, or head, we'll just call it a head, because what the heck. That's probably good right there. It looks okay. I think it's too plasticky. I think there needs to be paint on that, or at least a wash on the light blue. It's just too plasticky for my liking. The seam is pretty noticeable at the top of the head too for the interchangeable faces. It's nice on the sides where it's very well hidden, but it's too gappy at the top for my liking. The eyes are really nicely done. The beak does pop off to interchange the faces. I'd say that probably pops off too easily. These are minor things, but still they are things. So yeah, it could be better. The torso, it does have shading in the skin a little bit, and the scars, I'm assuming they're scars. I don't hope they're not scars. That looks painful. Whatever they are, they're applied very nicely. They're nice and clean. The skin is fairly uniform, other than the chest seems to have a little bit too much shading on it, and it makes it look like it's a whole different color than the rest of the body. But it's not bad, and again, once you pose it, you probably won't notice. The shading is nice to see. The shorts are well painted. I like that. They're well sculpted, other than the thickness of the hips. One of my lights just blew. Oh well. Okay, so yeah, it looks pretty good. Not perfect, a little plasticky. I don't think he's a super expensive release. I can't remember offhand, but I'll put it up there. But yeah, I think it's fine. It looks pretty good. He does pose well. We'll get to that. So once you pose him, I think a lot of those issues go away. But he could be better with a little bit of paint on the head for sure. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. He's pretty good looking. It's a decent looking figure, I suppose, if you're into bird mask people. Alright, for accessories, we have a whole bunch of alternate expressions for the face. I'm not going to try to describe each one of them. There are 5 total. And like I said, the beak is interchangeable, so that's pretty good. For hands, again, a whole bunch of hand options. You should have no problem there. Posing this guy with different hands will be something you can do. And then for other accessories, you have 4 different blades, all very nicely detailed. You have the 2 larger ones, then the 2 smaller ones. Very nice detail across. And so that's a good thing, but that's it. Nothing crazy. It's just enough. I'd say it's a good spread though, so I will go 8 out of 10. Nothing that's knocking my socks off, but it is definitely enough. Now it's time for the articulation section. How is this going to work? Well, he's got ball pegs in the head that lets it move around pretty much however you want, head and neck. So that's pretty good. I don't think you could do much better than that with a design like this. So that's wonderful. For the shoulders, we have a butterfly joint. It appears to be a fairly traditional style butterfly joint, but it does work nicely. It's not very ugly, and it does bring the arm across the chest well, so I'll take that. It does, okay, maybe it's not traditional, maybe it is on a ball, yeah it is, it's in there. There's a little ball peg in there, so it does go up and down as well, so that'll help with some more nuanced posing. Definitely can raise that arm all the way up, of course full rotation, bicep swivel is fine, double jointed elbow works very nicely, slightly gappy, but definitely functional. Then the wrist is on a ball hinge, that's fine. Torso articulation for the upper torso feels like, oh, there goes that beak. Feels like a double. It's probably a double ball peg. It's not, where's the beak? It's not the best range for the torso. I'll show you some more. But it's fine. He does lean back. Does lean forward, side to side. No, it's pretty limited. That's pretty darn limited. Let's see what the lower torso does. Okay, yeah, that makes up for it. So yeah, between the two, it'll be pretty well posable. Can't lean forward well. That blows. I'm so sick of figures not leaning forward. Leans back nicely and side to side nicely. So you'll be fine unless you want him to lean forward. That's gonna suck. I'm so sick of seeing that. Alright, these guys are floating pieces, so the hips should still have good range. Can kick up to horizontal, nothing more. Can't go back too far, too much butt cheek on the main body. I'm tired of seeing that too. Hips go out to the side all the way though, full on splits, so that's really good. And then you do get your thigh swivel, so that'll do. And then double jointed knee is fine, good proportioning, good range, really good knee. Like that a whole bunch. And then for the ankle, you can lean the foot pretty far back. Not that far forward. Ankle rocker is good because it's a ball hinge. Then the toe joint though, it's not assembled all the way, or that's just how they designed it. I can't say for sure, but both are very floppy. Yeah, it's designed that way. So both are pretty floppy and they don't look great. That's a questionable design for sure for the toe joint. Yeah, I don't like that. I'd rather just not see it if you're gonna not have it be good. So the toe joint's kind of a bummer. The rest of the figure works well. Torso could be better, but yeah, I think you can pose him nicely. His arms are really good. His legs are really good other than the toe joint, if you want to include that. Neck is good. Yeah, I'd say everything's good except for this upper torso. Really, it works pretty darn well. Guess hips could be a little bit better, but I think you'll be fine with it. It's definitely not bad. I'll go 8 out of 10, in fact. Most of the joints work really nicely. So, time for the final verdict. I am not attached to this character in any way. I appreciate it because it's an interesting character design. And, good enough accessories, good enough aesthetic. Posability is nice. I'll go 8 out of 10. It's definitely better than a 7, but it doesn't really impress me enough. I think for being a fairly simple design, they could have upped it just a little bit in the consistency across the skin tones. I don't like that the head is not painted more, and well, I guess that's really it. The rest is all pretty solid. Yeah, it's fine. If you're into the character, then you're probably going to love it, because those problems are not big. But if you're not, it's still a solid release, but I don't know if it's screaming at me, buy this, you need it, even if you don't care about the character. You're going to have to decide that for yourself, but I think 8 is a fair rating. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.